I am Archangel Michael, and it is my pleasure to be with you here in this time, in these moments that are gathering more and more momentum that is taking you further and further, deeper and deeper within yourself, when you allow it to be. Yes, of course, you can get wrapped up into the third dimensional illusion. It is very easy to do so. It is more difficult though to let go of that and feel the connection, feel the oneness, feel the consciousness of the One. For you are the consciousness of the One you have always been. You just forgot. But now it is time to remember. Remember who you are and what you came here to do. All of you came here for a purpose. And yes, your purpose changes as you move along your journey. But the greater purpose, the one that you all came here to do, is to be those system busters to bring the change and the changeover that is necessary here. The changeover that all of us, all of the galactics, all of the archangels and the angels, and all of the Devic evolution, the fairies and gnomes, the sprites, all that you can no longer see but are here anyway, we are all here, and we are all ready for the time when you will open your eyes. Your third eye that will connect, and is connected to your physical eyes. And you will open them for the first time in this lifetime, or even in many lifetimes, and you will see beyond the illusion once and for all. You will see the beauty that surrounds you, that is imbued within you and all around you all the time. You will see it with those eyes, finally, and it will be a glorious vista that will open up in front of you. Beauty that you have never imagined in this lifetime or, again, in many previous lifetimes. Although many of you have had certain lifetimes here on the planet where you did open up to this vista. You were open up to the magic that was available to you. But, of course, purposefully you forgot of this. You forgot it so that you could have the full remembrance when the time comes, when the frequency rises enough that you could have this full remembrance come back to you and remember fully who you are. And that you are the ones, the guiding guardian ones, that came here from systems far, far away. Many galaxies beyond this galaxy. And you came here to bring the light, to first anchor the light here, and then to spread it far and wide. Spread it in any way that you can, whether through voice, or thought, or whatever is needed, through the printed word, through your videos. Whatever it is, it brings light forward to the many. For it is one in the many, and the many in the one. You always have to remember that now, as your remembrances are beginning more and more to trickle down where you have a vision, you have a dream, or simply a thought. And that thought, or that vision, or that dream, carries with it the emotion behind it. And you know and feel it could be accurate. You know and feel it could be the truth because it resonates within you. All of you now are moving forward, further, further and further, deeper and deeper into the light. The light that surrounds you all the time, if you but become aware of it. It is always there. It is always within you. It is the ego self, the lower ego self that tends to hold you in the unknowingness. But it is only doing that to protect you, for it does what it was meant to do. But at some point during the changeover or just prior to it, the lower ego shall fall away, and the higher ego self within you will take form and carry sway over your entire being. And all of your multi-dimensional selves will become aware to you, to the conscious knowing you. Imagine an image in what that will be like. Continue to have faith, my friends. Continue to trust. Trust in the knowing that each of you have, and that each of you are. For the light is gaining more and more force across the planet, and the darkness is fading away more and more, even though it does not appear to be so. But you, that have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, know better. You know that the illusion is falling away, and this is the only way that it can happen. For all of the 3D realm, the 3D paradigm, must come crashing down. All must fall within the third dimensional illusionary paradigm, for the new paradigm to rise from those ashes. You are at the cusp. You are at the crescendo. You are at the ending of the new beginning that is coming fast. Trust in that always, and that trust will lead you directly into the first wave of ascension. I am Archangel Michael, and I leave you now in peace, and love, and oneness. And that you be the one. Always know that you are the one. You are connected to the oneness of all, and the all is connected to you. Who serves, channeled by James McConnell. Mani, Padme, Hum. Mani, Padme, Hum. Hum. Greetings to you. One who serves here, and Shoshanna is back with us. And we are ready to continue on this journey that we're on together. And what a journey it is it not? All of you are moving through this journey and finding your way through it. It is this: at times you find yourself in the dark, as in a dark room, and you are making your way through it, knowing that there is a light on the other side, and you are making your way. And then all of a sudden you see the glimmer of that light, and it guides you to it. And as you move into that glimmer of light, it expands and expands and expands into full light, full lighted room. That is where you are moving into now. We are ready for your questions if you have them. You can unmute your phones now and ask your questions. Guest: Hi, one who serves. Can you hear me? OWS: Yes, we hear you, loud and clear. Guest: Excellent. I heard about the monoliths, and I am just wondering if there are any of them in the state of Colorado. OWS: We cannot tell you directly where they are, because they are not at this point in a physical form. They have been previously, but they were, we will say, cloaked. We will just use that terminology here into a higher dimensional frequency, so that when the time comes, those that are in that higher dimensional frequency will be able to see them then, and interact with them in the way that needs to be at that time. Okay, but we cannot tell you directly where they are, because they are in a flux, in a sense of moving situation here, where one time they will be in one area and, in another, they will be in another area, as they are moving through various portals that are here on the planet. Okay, guest, thank you. OWS: Yes. Shoshanna, do you have anything to add here? Shoshanna: Joanna Higher Self, channeled by Joanna McConnell. We do not. OWS: Very good. Then we move on to next question if there is one. Guest: I don't know if you can answer this or not, but I'll ask it. We have been hearing that there might not just be one audit in Arizona, but many other audits regarding the presidential election in 2020. Can you shed some light on this? OWS: You are speaking of other audits in other states here? Is that what you are asking? Guest: Yes. OWS: It is in process. Even now as you are asking that question, these other audits, as you are saying, are in process now, in various stages of this. It is not being known yet to the general public because the general public, for the most part, is not interested. But there is a great deal of the general public that is, in terms of of this division that is happening here, in this country especially. But also know that everything that happens here in this country, of the United States for America, in terms of the new republic here, is going to happen across the entire planet. Okay, Shoshanna, do you have anything to add here? Shoshanna: We will share. May we share our perspective, dear sister? Guest: Of course. Shoshanna: Dear sister, as in all that occurs, the consciousness of man is what drives the experience. In this process, that it called the audit, there are many that will have to find the courage and the bravery to stand up for the freedom of others, to move beyond their own fears. You see, and that separates the leaders from others. So you must watch carefully and you must support those emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically that are attempting to bring this to fruition. Does this make sense, dear sister? Guest: Absolutely. And I hold nothing but light and love for those courageous ones. We are ready. Shoshanna: Namaste. OWS: Very good. Are there other questions here? Guest: I have a question. OWS: Yes. Guest: So we heard that a lot of the bad actors are being processed and perhaps sent on their way. I wonder what is your perspective in terms of karma for people who are processing them, perhaps sentencing them, or even putting them to their death? Is there a negative karma or a bad energy attached to that? Do you know? OWS: That is something that is for each one and their path along the journey. It is not something that each one of you need to be concerned about, because everything has its match, we will say here, in terms of energy match. So like attracts like, and all of this. So you do not need to concern yourself with that. They will be just fine. They have a mission here. Those ones you are speaking of, they are doing what they know that they came here to do, whatever that might be, and whatever karma that they may derive from this will be overcome by that which is graced at the time of the changeover, or the event. Okay, Shoshanna, do you have anything to add? Shoshanna: We agree with that, and we do not have another perspective. OWS: Very good. Guest: Thank you. OWS: Would there be any other questions here? Guest: I would like to ask a question. OWS: Yes. Guest: Could you explain to us a little bit more about yourselves, the Council of One Who Serves? And know that I ask this in very deep gratitude and conscious curiosity. Thank you. OWS: What can we say about who we are? We are a collective of ones that have arisen in what you call mastery of the consciousness here on the planet. We have arisen beyond that, the same as you are all moving through your ascension process and will be the ascended ones as well. So we come into this as individuals joining a collective here, a collective of those who are ready to serve. That is why we consider ourselves Who Serves. And as we say each time, be the one. And we are the one, just as you are the one. You see? So we are here to serve. That is what we are here for, and we are part, of course, of the Brotherhood of Light here, We will say it in that respect here. The Great White Brotherhood of Light. And we have our purpose. We have what we are here to do, and when we are done with this part of our journey, we will move on, just as you will move on into positions such as we are in potentially, and then you will move on as well. Okay, does this answer your question, or was there something more specific you were looking for here? Guest, well, in a way, a little more specific, and, as you say, we are all the one. And I hear your voice come to me many times in many educational moments for myself, and that is why I am so deeply grateful. For this has been the greatest growth period of my life these past few months, and I feel such a deep connection to you. OWS, yes, and we can confirm that for you. As you are feeling it strongly now, you are already a part of the Great White Brotherhood. You are already with us here in terms of your multi-dimensional self. Guest, yes, thank you. That will be sufficient, thank you. OWS, Shoshanna, do you have anything to add? Shoshanna, we do not. OWS, very good. Would there be any further questions here? We do not have email questions. Guest, I have something further. I would like to hear a little more about this question of walk-ins. We heard many estimates that there are enormous amounts of walk-ins, even up to 50% of all the people here. It seems a little odd that if that many come in, how is it in Ascension of the population? So I would be curious to know what is going on with walk-ins and how many we really will get, and what that all about. OWS, we cannot tell you now many or percentage-wise, but there are a great many that would be considered walk-ins at this time. Many have been, what you would call it, watching from the outside as everything commenced here through this ascension process, and then some decided to be a part of this more directly. You all included in this as well. Not that you are necessarily walk-ins, but you also are a part of coming into this expression, either in this lifetime only, or in many previous lifetimes throughout this evolution here. Okay, that is what we can say. We cannot give more direct information at this point. Maybe Shoshanna can? Shoshanna, we wish to ask a question. May we ask a question to you, dear sister? Guest, yes. Shoshanna, dear sister, what is it that you are truly curious about? Are you having that experience with another? Guest, no. I guess I just confused. I want to understand who telling me true information out there, and who is not. And when they say like 50% of people being walk-ins, that DOES and makes sense to me, because how is the planet ascending with all of its beings if a lot of them are going away? Shoshanna, so have you come across that information and wish to clarify it for yourself? Guest, yes. Shoshanna, it is false. Guest, laughs okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Shoshanna, Namaste. OWS. We would also say that those that you hear from that call themselves walk-ins are likely not, for they would not share this, unless they were of a lower vibration themselves here. Okay, those that come to remembering who they were in past lives, or that they may or may not be a walk-in in this situation would likely not share that if they are of higher vibrational consciousness themselves. That should be hint to you as to some of those that you listen to as potential leaders in this ascension process. Okay, false prophets, you might say, that you may have heard of. Shoshanna, we wish to share with that one prior guest above. May we share with you, dear sister? Guest, yes, thank you. Go ahead. Shoshanna, dear sister, we have been given a message that the Great One, Kuan Yin, is overlighting your path, and the Great One, Kuan Yin, is a part of the Great White Brotherhood as an honorary member of that, and she is imbibing herself with you to sky view. Does this make sense, dear sister? Guest, yes, thank you. Shoshanna, Namaste. OWS, very good. Are there any further questions here before we release channel? Guest, yes, I have a question. OWS, yes. Guest, about walk-ins. I'm not sure, but I do think I have a daughter that has a walk-in. She not here as her real self. It the walk-in that is guiding her. What do they do? Why do we have walk-ins? Are they to have special messages for us or guide us? Because my daughter, I almost positive, she has a walk-in. And can they have two souls? Can her original self go out when that walk-in comes in, or can she keep her original self with her walk-in? OWS, you are asking several different questions here, but the one with more than one soul, as you are saying, please understand that those that are in this walk-in situation have a contract with that one that they are walking into, where they are taking their physical body. But the one that leaves from their physical body takes their soul consciousness with them, and they continue on in their journey. And the one that comes in brings their soul consciousness in, and they continue on the journey through that body. But understand, it is just that. It is a body. It is a vessel that can be used, and then let go of whenever it needs to, You see? So it is always by contract first that this occurs. And there are times when one in the physical body may be having a very difficult time of it during their journey, and they have given up, and they do not want it anymore, such as through a major illness, or something of this nature. And they may at that time declare that they are ready to leave, and will give the body up to another here. And then that one will come in and take it over. And in many cases, the body will then become healed as well. And this occurs at various times when you see miraculous healings that occurred. You may not have thought of it in this way, that it could be a walk-in situation, but many times they are. These miracles that happen. Okay, Shoshanna, do you have anything to add here? Shoshanna, we do not add. Guest, okay, sorry to keep your time, but that my daughter who says she does and come from this planet and that she not my daughter. She says I not her mother and she is just completely another person, like a newborn and new person coming in, and she is and in our reality at all. But she is all drawn into Sananda, and she all drawn in with rocks. She is a fanatic about rocks. I almost positive now that she is a walk-in, but I don't know for sure. OWS, are you asking for direct confirmation of whether she is or she is not? Guest, well, I don't think you can give me that, but I would like to know that, if you could. OWS, no, we cannot, but we think you already have received your answer. Guest, okay, good. OWS, Shoshanna, do you have anything to add to this? Shoshanna, we do not add to this. OWS, very good. Guest, okay, thank you. OWS, would there be any other further questions here, before we release channel? Guest, greetings. I have a question about the time that the Masters of Hollow Earth attempted to make contact with humanity, maybe back in the 1500, 1600, 1700, during the times of Master El Morya. I watched a documentary about this area in the northern part of the Himalayas, which is now Mongolia. There was an ocean or a lake, and it is positioned there in an island. They were very advanced, before some flood or catastrophe, and went to inner earth. And then El Morya surfaced somewhere in India, and he attempted to bring the knowledge that you are now bringing us now. Back then, what happened to that attempt? Was it discontinued altogether? And how many times have that attempt been made to try to bring this knowledge to the surface? Thank you. OWS, what we can tell you is there have been many attempts over the many thousands of years here for those to bring the ancient wisdom forward here back to the people here on the planet. But at various times, the vibrational frequencies were not ready for this, and it could not be. So ever since the time of the fall of Atlantis here. Prior to that, there was much connection between those here on the planet, and below the planet, and above the planet. But that all changed with the coming of the Dark Ages in that time of the fall of Atlantis. So there have been many attempts since that. The time certainly of the Yeshua when he became the Christ and brought through as much as he was able to at that time. And previous to that, there was the Akhenaten, that was the one who would bring this through and was not able to. And other ones also along that line too. This continues on even to this day, that there are ones that are coming forward and bringing information, only for those that are ready for it. Though, through your Diane Robbins, and others that have brought channeled information through, just as you said, as we are bringing this information through as well, attempting to bring the ancient wisdom back to you here, so that you can then carry this wisdom on forward from here. Okay, Shoshanna, we agree with that which has been given, and we will add another perspective, if we may add. Dear brother, guest, of course, sister, Shoshanna, dear brother, those that protect their vibrational frequency by not resurfacing, are doing so, as one who serves has given, because the vibrational frequency on the surface is not compatible with their frequency. So they get around that by guiding us and coming through in our dream state and in our meditative state. Because in the dream state, the conscious mind is set aside, and the spiritual divinity that all of you are in the light that you shine comes to the surface, and they can meld with it and communicate in that respect. Also, in your meditative state, when one meditates honestly and earnestly to bring light to themselves and to the planet, their vibrational frequency is much enhanced. And in that moment, those that dwell in Hollow Earth can receive your messages and bring you messages, you see. So they are continuing to communicate, but not at a physical level. They are always communicating with those that reach the vibrational frequency necessary to be compatible with them. Namaste. Does this make sense, dear brother? Guest, yes, and I thank you. I am so grateful to be included to be here in this club. I thank you. Shoshanna, Namaste. OWS. And we thank you, dear Moses, for all that you do for this group as well. We are ready to release channel here now. Shoshanna, Do you have any parting message here, Shoshanna? We do not have a message, but we will say that all that continue their commitment to the oneness on this call and in this group will rise together in that wave of ascension. Namaste. OWS. Very good. And we leave with this. Do everything that you can to continue to remain out of the illusion as much as you possibly can. As we say many times, be aware, but not become a part of it. That is all. Shanti. Peace be with you. Be the one. Channeled by James McConnell.